Hey guys, it's yours truly coming back at you all with another one, and I'll be live streaming how to play the Winged Dragon of Ra deck that I just uploaded. And hey, what you say, Malcolm? And the key thing when playing this deck is mainly to swarm the field with numerous level 6s so that you're able to actually go into Beatrice and actually mill your Immortal Phoenix into the graveyard. Um, if you already have it in hand, that's not an issue. You can also get rid of it with the hand using this Fable, as well as with um, where is he? Malicious. He floats excellently. Whether you mill him to the graveyard off of Beatrice effect, or, and this is the reason why I incorporated the little Ignite Pendulum engine, so that you can pendulum him out of the hand if you pick up a copy, so that it doesn't become an issue, and then you can just go into a rank 6 with him, pitch him off to the graveyard to mill something, and then you can just banish, get another copy of him if you have another level 6, and continue to consecutively exceed summon numerous rank 6s. So the key combinations would mainly be to get as many level 6s to the field, exceed summon into at least 2 copies of Beatrice so that you can mill the Immortal Phoenix into the graveyard, and 1 copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra. You don't necessarily have to mill a copy of the original Winged Dragon of Ra, but if you can make the additional rank 6 play into extra beetle, then milling him into the graveyard would be recommended. As you run a pendulum engine, especially with ignites, you can just pop float, and then pendulum 4 of them back, and then you have your 3 tributes for the original Winged Dragon of Ra. And then instead of paying your life points for his attack points, you would then decline or hit no, and then once he hits the field, you can just pay 1,000 and you can pop him yourself. You can use his effect to pop himself, and Immortal Phoenix comes, and it starts the cycle from Immortal Phoenix to Sphere Mode right back to him. When you use Sphere Mode's effect, he will then be granted 4k attack when he comes to the field, and then you can use his effect to pop himself again and start the whole cycle all over. The thing I don't recommend is leaving him face up on the field at the end of any of your turns, because of Sphere Mode's effect to special summon him. It leaves him receptive to cards like 101 Castell, and he can also be targeted by card effects. Hey Crook. So what I recommend that you do before you end your turn is to use Ra's effect on himself, so that it gets you Immortal Phoenix. Immortal Phoenix then gets you Sphere Mode. Sphere Mode effect, it cannot be targeted for attacks, and it cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. So leaving Sphere Mode face up on the field in defense position, I might add, is excellent when you end in your turn. If you leave him face up attack position and your opponent plays something like Rank Up Magic Astral Force, Numeron Force, that can negate all face up effects on the field, it would then negate the Sphere Mode effect. So if you have it face up, you then leave yourself receptive to getting attacked and taking maximum battle damage. It's no different than getting punched in the face. Hey, what you say, Trini? So what you want to do is make sure that when you end in your turns, if you use the original Winged Dragon of Ra to just devastate your opponent by paying 1,000 and just popping their monsters and then hitting them for 4k, make sure you turn his effect on himself so that you get Immortal Phoenix once you've milled it to the grave, and then it gets you Sphere Mode. You bring that in defense, and that should keep you safe for another turn, as your opponent cannot target it for attacks or card effects. Also, when playing this, you want to make sure that when you're utilizing your combinations, you attempt to use your red resonator in the pendulum summon if possible, so that you can recover life points or boost your life points over the 8,000 or 8k start that they give you. So if you do need to like summon Ra to OTK off his original form, you would have over the 8k start. It should get you about, normally if you pendulum summon, you get this ignite out, it gets you an additional 2100 life points, which puts you over 10k. It gets you at exactly 10k 100, so Ra would come with 10k attack when you do this, the original Ra. So you can actually just go at your opponent for 10k. If they have a monster face up with less than 2k attack points, you can do it like that. But I don't recommend that, because if your opponent does have a burn effect, like you only have 100 life points, and then yeah, it hurts to lose like that. So the whole objective of this deck is mainly to get around paying those life points for the original Ra and just cycling through Ra, Immortal Phoenix, and Sphere mode. The additional 2-level, rank 6s that I put in the M7s, so when you make them, you can target the original Winged Dragon of Ra in the graveyard and put them back into your hand, which keeps the cycle going. So when Immortal Phoenix would leave, it would get you Sphere mode. Sphere mode can only special summon Ra from your hand or your deck. So you would want to make sure that you summon the M7 so that you can just put a copy of Ra from your graveyard back in your hand to keep the cycle going. So off of M7, you would be able to recycle about, and just being brutally honest, Ra twice. We know that he can use his effect during the following turn to do it again. Worst case scenario, that he doesn't live for those second times, at least twice, you would be able to put Ra back from your graveyard into your hand so that you can keep that cycle going. So you'd always have Immortal Phoenix after Ra leaves the field. That's going to get you Sphere mode. Sphere mode gets you back Ra. You annihilate your opponent during that turn, then you turn his effect on himself to trigger Immortal Phoenix. If need be that your opponent has something like Yang Zings, or if you guys were watching when I played with the deck yesterday when I uploaded the video, that hoe with Eyes of Blue, like if she's targeted for an effect, she gets a blue eyes. The thing is with Immortal Phoenix effect is that it does not target. Once you use that effect, nothing activates. It just sends your opponent's monsters to the graveyard. That's how you can bypass stuff like Magic Spectres and monsters that cannot be targeted by card effects. As well as the only time you'd actually use the original Winged Dragon of Ra's effect to pay your life points to come to the field with, 7,900, or if you put your life points up off of the Red Resonator's effect over 10k, he would come with, is if you're in a situation where your opponent summons something like Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem off of Powerball. Well, that's not even an issue, scratch that. Something like the Tyrant Neptune off of Ultimate Falcon, Seraphonite, and I think it's Trick Clown, and I think he comes with like over 7k, but he gains Ultimate Falcon's effect of the graveyard, so he then becomes unaffected by card effect. No, he's unaffected by anything. What you say, Kami? No, I haven't dueled anyone or encountered anyone playing Arcanas. But yeah, back to what I was saying, you want to make sure that the only time that you have to pay those life points is when you have to beat over something. If you're in that situation with the Tyrant Neptune, where he would have more attack points than your Ra. But most other, beat stick or boss tail monsters you can get over with Ra or his Immortal Phoenix mode without having to pay those life points. The most you'd have to pay is your 1,000 to get rid of whatever it may be on the field. So even if your opponent is playing something like 77 Deadly Sins, like you can use Ra's effect on himself, get the Immortal Phoenix, and Immortal Phoenix pay 1,000 and just sends that crap to the graveyard. And like I said, the best thing with Immortal Phoenix is that his effect does not target, so you can just go off on his effect and just out your opponent's entire field of monsters. The original Ra is excellent. Once you bring it off of sphere mode, comes with 4K, excellent. And like I said, to make sure end your turns by turning his effect on himself, triggering Immortal Phoenix, that's also going to trigger sphere mode that you want to bring in defense position, that cannot be targeted by attacks or card effects. I guess I'll play a few for you guys so you guys can see exactly how it functions, how it works, if you haven't watched the video already. Oh, also, let me go back to show you guys. There is also... what's it now? Oh, there's also... You can bring Ra in one turn off of the engine by bringing at least 4 level 6s to the field, as well as a OTK potential if you bring Utopia Beyond to reduce all of your opponent's monsters attack to 0. I just wanted to put that in there for you guys so you guys know that you have that to your access. Now let's see if we can find a few duels. What do you say, Shimmy? And like I say, playing with the Ignite Pendulum engine is like, it's excellent, because once you pop off, like even if you pick up like multiple level 10s, like it isn't that hard to get around, especially because you have the Fib Sulcius that you can just send them to the graveyard out of your hand, especially if it's like 1 copy of Ra and 1 copy of Sphere Immortal Phoenix. Like you just send them to the graveyard and you no longer have to mill them with Beatrice, so it gets you where you need to go. And keep in mind too that Monkey Board and Skullcrabat Joker is the best and easiest pendulum engine in the game you could ever include in a deck. Like you just play one, it gets you the next one, gets you your entire scale set, and then you just pendulum summon. Like you literally go 1 + 1 plus another one, and then you're able to like just pendulum summon to your heart's content, pending on what you have in your hand. Alright. Oh boy. If you could find them online, I think we like 8 or somewhere like 8 or 12 hours apart, something like that. Oh wow. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this first. That's a bit troublesome if that stays. Let's get rid of this. Oh. This, and this. I'll be it. That results in that. Yeah, boy. Let's try this. Alright, now we're playing a guessing game. Let's see how this one works. Let's send him. Let's sketch this one here and this one here. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, that's where the second one was. Oh wow, I need a strike. Well, that's the end of that. Good game, buddy. I needed to actually out two of those counters, but when you don't know what's faced on you, you gotta play a guessing game. If I did catch that strike and the counter, I would have been able to get that off. Oh wow. This is like the worst case scenario that could happen for your opponent. Wow. These heavy back rows ain't playing. Alright. Don't overthink it, just punch him in the face. Both. I would go with pasta though. I'd go with pasta first over the pizza. Yeah, first start of the beginning. Yeah. You can't play a card that's not in the deck. Will you say chaos? Excellent. You just need to work that back row over before you make any big moves. Well, that didn't make much sense. All right. You just set one, and that'll be enough. Thanks, chaos. This is the flavor. Ew, giant hand. That means we should be expecting another trap hole somewhere in the back there. Chicken fettuccine. All right, let's. You never heard of chicken fettuccine? Let's see if we can get him to use that Hans effect. Wow, what kind of pasta y'all eat over there then? Alright, now that that's out of the way. Oh, I have to wait for my next turn for that. Alright. Oh, no, I have never heard of that. See, that's where you live, you get that. Where I live, I don't. Oh, fancy. I mean, he must know that if I'm playing pendulums, like, just hold the one in the back. Alright, let's do this then. Draw one. Oh. So let's try this then. Alright, since that's the case. Oh boy. Options it? Let's go with her. Now let's get rid of him so we can mill. Oh, another one? Alright, I'm fine. And that's the beauty about Beatrice. Just she leaves and then Dante comes like hit. Alright. He's down to one in the back row. You see how patience can pay off in the long run and just allow your opponent to work themselves over? Two face downs? Hey, if they didn't activate before, just keep punching them in the face. We're not gonna press right now, we're just gonna punch him in the face. And because most trap holds activate on summon, like if he doesn't play a monster, he loses. Go ahead, get your trap hole. I'm not summoning anything right about now. Yeah, that's all you do when someone playing a trap hole based deck, or once you get a monster out, keep punching them in the face. He just put down Void Trap Hole. I want to try something. Let's go. So yes. Hey, spend that drop for more. I sure you don't want to take 2 attacks. I know I can eat 10 for sure. I haven't tried going over 10, but I know I could because I ate like 1 medium box of pizza, 10 hot wings, and some cheesy breadsticks all in one go. If I wasn't physically fit, I would have been fat right about now. And look how easy it is to get a win off of patience. Just because opponent has a heavy back row doesn't mean, oh, that's an auto surrender. Hey guys, give me a sec. Hey. Hey. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Um, Personal call. You know how women get. What you doing? Where you is? Yeah, the whole 911. This guy ain't playing whatsoever. I look like I'm about to incorporate a whole lot of plots. Or nothing. You know how women go, just checking in on you. No, I answered the call. I mute my mic though. Wow. Now we have to deal with a Stardust Dragon. Alright. Let's see. Oop. Almost clicked too fast. I tend to get ahead of myself sometimes. Thank you, Stardust. But Stardust can negate destruction, so we're gonna do this. We'll wait. Oh, wow. Wow, I haven't seen Shooting Star Dragon since... Boy. I wonder how he feels just going straight to the graveyard. Enjoy your pasta and buffalo wings then. Wow, that almost worked. It's called Immortal Phoenix for a reason. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Whole thing is make sure that you get the Immortal Phoenix into the graveyard. It doesn't matter how you get Ra to the field. Once he reaches to the field, like you can pop him yourself. So it really isn't an issue. Alright. Let's do one of these. Oh, snap. Me and my clicky fingers. Oh boy. Yeah, if I lose this one, that's my bad, guys. I originally was supposed to synchro summon +1 and then go off. Oh wow. That's good to know. That looks like dual. Oh, what kind of shenanigans is this time? Very well could be. What a waste of 1,000 life points. Alright, let's get you in there. Oh, wow. Dang, that cost me deck out. Well, last game. Good game, buddy. Wow, I think he got 601 points for that. Cheapest creepers. I know my eyes ain't deceive me. And that's why I tell people it doesn't matter if you win or if you lose. It's just making sure that you execute moves during the duel so that you get your points for it. Whether you special summon, normal summon, play spells, traps, whatever it is. You just want to make sure that you do things during the duel to get your points in a ranked match. So even if you lose, you can come out pending on just how much you played, over 200 points, and you lost a duel. And bare minimum for winning, I think, is like 150. So you want to rank up really quick, you earn points like that. Yeah, give me a sec. Oh, wow. Let's do this. Let's get a good old red eyes. We're gonna play a law. Excellent. We got what we actually wanted. Let's banish him. We need to get rid of that monstrosity in the back row. The Necro Valley isn't going anywhere. Now, let's do this. And this. Which one is he? 7. I need a 2. Yeah, Shami. Set scale. Let's remove that malefic, and then we can go to work. Nah. Wow, to the very bottom of the deck. Let's get another level 6 since we have a normal summon yet. Bottle. Oh wow. Alright. Since he wants to play like that. Other move. One more face down. No clashy. Alright. Skill drain, which is still also a waste. Show him why right now, huh? Let's mill first. Yeah, why not? Why not? Now, perfect position. No card effects, right? Nah, just Regeki him. Then send Ra to the graveyard. Skill drain and Necro Valley. Now, let's mill again. We're gonna put our, where is he? Fabe in the graveyard. Then we're gonna special summon our Destiny Hero. Then we're gonna normal summon our Ignite. Then we're gonna make extra beetles. Then we're gonna get our Ra back from the graveyard. He has nothing for me to trigger extra beams effect on, and whenever that's the situation, what you want to do is just go to the extra deck and just rank him up to Gaia. That's gonna cause Ra to leave the field and then Immortal Phoenix to appear. Then body. If a guy on the field, even if he does have a monster that somehow cannot leave the field by Immortal Phoenix effect, guy can pass defense, so you don't really lose in that rank up. Oh wow. Rainbow Karibo for the block. Yes, I'll attack that. That ends my turn. We're gonna get spare mode from the deck, which thinnens out our deck. We're gonna put that in defense, and that gets us our Ra for our following turn. And defense means nothing. Gaia can pass defense. Now we're gonna use spare mode's effect. We're gonna get the Ra from our deck. 4K, and we're not going to target this with the original Ra's effect. We don't know if it has effect that can trigger in response. So we're gonna put Ra's effect on himself. Gets Immortal Phoenix and use his effect just to send it straight to the graveyard. Bye-bye. Alright, just making sure. You want to be on the safe side. You have things like Yang Zing, Fire, and Ice Hand that can go off and float. You want to make sure that if it's face down, send it to the graveyard. If it's face up and you can see that it has nothing to trigger in response, you can keep the original Dragon of Ra on the field and play and just pop it. And during your end phase, you turn Ra's effect on himself, so you get Immortal Phoenix and Immortal Phoenix to get you Sphere mode, and make sure you have that face-up defense, as he cannot be targeted by card effects or for attacks. So it almost ensures that you see your Winged Dragon of Ra and Immortal Phoenix the following turn. And that's what you want to make sure of, because if you leave the original Winged Dragon of Ra face up off of the Sphere mode effect, and they can go into 101 Castell or any effect that targets, they can automatically out him from the field, which breaks the cycle, which you do not want to happen. This individual seems to be unresponsive. Oh, yeah. Remind me right after this duel, please. I shouldn't forget, but remind me just in case. What do you say, Mark? Just remind me. Blue eyes, alright. Oh boy. Craptastic Hunt. At least if you had a face down, it wouldn't have been so bad. Wow. That's a bit dirty, but effective. And I still can't do that. Yeah. I really needed him to have 3 months. Really. My bad. I didn't even have swear mode none, but you know when you play raw all day, all them start to look alike. Alright, I was supposed to make some alterations because someone said they didn't have the Ignite engine to play. Let's remove them. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it's Upstart, Soul Charge, Rotor, Foolish, and cut 2 of these. 8. So it should be another red resonator. So I need another resonator call. Where is it? Red resonator. Then it should be 3 Armageddonites. Trying to remember what else I told him to sub out. Okay, 2 primitive butterflies and 1 plague spreader. Where is it? And 1 plague spreader zombie. Alright, and that could also work. It's gonna be a little more difficult because you don't have the Ignite engine to actually just like pop 2 the Ignites, get another one, pop them again, set your scale. So it's just basically just to get another 6 and +1. Are you meaning in this deck? Because I think that's the trap card that reduces the opponent's monster's attack by 800 for every monster they control or something like that. Alright, first things first, let's get red resonator Tahan. Let's go monkey board. You want me to do just a video explaining this deck? I mean, the only difference is you just relying on the primitive butterfly to hopefully be special summon first, and then use red resonator with Armageddonite to mill either plague spreader if you have malicious in hand. If you have no malicious in hand, then you just mill the malicious, and then you just go off on your 2 6s to start off with Beatrice and mill the Phoenix mode. That's basically it, and then make extra beetle the following turn. That's basically it. Let's draw 1 more. And look when you one show up. We'll end that turn with that. I mean, I showing it right now. It isn't gonna be that much different. All it is you have 2 primitive butterflies. If you open with them, you just special summon 1, and you really want to combo the red resonator with Armageddon Knight. Once you do that, you automatically get 2 6s. You would use red resonator, special summon Armageddon Knight, synchro into Stardust Charge Warrior +1, which puts a 6 on the field. Off of Armageddon Knight's effect, you would just send Malicious to the graveyard, or Plague Spreader if you have Malicious in hand, because you want to put that Malicious back to the top of your deck and mill it there so that you can go off his effect. But because you still, if you do have the Monkey Board, Skrulkabard, Joker, and Unicorn, you don't really need to put him back on top of your deck, so you can just Pendulum Summon the Malicious, overlay, and send him there anyway, so you can do it repeatedly. And it continues as same. Go into Extra Beetle, get your Ra, Immortal Phoenix, same cycle. A couple of Excedrin would fix that. It's fairly simple. It's as long as you keep listening out repeatedly, nothing changes. It's still the same. Red resonator with Armageddon Knight, Malicious, and that's that. Everything else is textbook from now. Like, you would know what to do because everything lights up. And like I said, if you open with the Primitive Butterfly, it's just special summon it. That's it, and just put its level to 6. It like I said, textbook. Oh wow. It's textbook. It isn't gonna change whether you see it or hear it. It's gonna be the same thing. It's one of those combos where it doesn't require a rocket scientist to figure it out. Primitive Butterfly's effect, you can only special summon it, and then you just look the combo Red Resonator with Armageddon Knight. That's all it is. You open with this special summon, put his level to 6. Doesn't change. Whether you open with it or not, that doesn't change. Then you look to combo Red Resonator with Armageddon Knight. That is why you have your 2 Resonator cards and your Rhoda plus your Upstart, so you can try to get into him and Red Resonator in hand. Whether you open with Primitive Butterfly or not, it doesn't matter. You're going to automatically be able to make a rank 6 because you're going to use Red Resonator with Armageddon Knight to mill the Malicious. You're going to synchro into Stardust Charge Warrior and +1. You're then going to overlay with the Malicious and the level 6 Stardust Charge Warrior to make Beatrice automatic, and then you can mill whatever you like. You're also going to have 2 more Malicious that you can utilize. So if you want to mill your where is the Fable, so that you can let's say you open up with a bunch of Ras in hand, you can send them to the graveyard, special summon him, go into Malicious, and then make Extra Beetle, and your combo goes off. Like, it doesn't change. Like, once you Red Resonator, Armageddon Knight, Malicious, you automatically get Beatrice, and then mill whatever you want to do whatever you want. Like, however, how fast you want to bring Ra would automatically be up to you. That's it. It doesn't change. And like I said, if you open with Primitive Butterfly, it gives you that additional rank 6 to go into off the start and play. So not only off a Red Resonator and Armageddon Knight would you mill the Malicious to be able to go into Beatrice, but because of Malicious effect, you get to bring another copy of him to use with the Primitive Butterfly to hit Extra Beetle, or another copy of her, and you can use that copy of her to mill the copy of Malicious that's on it to the graveyard to utilize the 3rd of the deck, so that you can use, when you mill, to mill the Fabe the 2nd time around with the 2nd Beatrice, and then make a 3rd rank 6, so you can go into Extra Beetle. Yeah, you'd be able to go into Extra Beetle and hit your combo. It doesn't matter. And Utopia Beyond is in there just in case your opponent has like a field with a bunch of beat sticks and you just want to make all those 0 to neutralize them. If you watched the video for it, you'd have seen where I did that to my opponent, where they were so focused on just trying to make sure that they banish all the copies of Ra out my graveyard. And the 2 copies of Gaia Dragon, they just in there to, if you bring Beetle and your opponent doesn't have a face-up card to send to the graveyard, you just automatically overlay to send the Ra to the graveyard to cause Immortal Phoenix effect to go off. And then the 2 copies of M7, so that you can start putting the Winged Dragon of Ra back in your hand, so that that cycle does not break. Because Sphere Mode can only special summon him from your hand or your deck. So your M7s are what's going to keep that cycle going, and your opponent is most likely, once the cycle starts, going to lose before you can even M7 3 times. I'm sure of that. The most I've ever M7 was twice and my opponent died. So you being able to M7 4 times is highly unlikely unless they have like the ultimate stall deck in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you don't have the Ignites unlocked or the the DLC for it, you can play it like this. But I prefer the Ignite engine because you open up with 3 or more Ignites, especially the level 6s. They just pop, go to your extra deck, and then you pendulum summon, and you have a enormous amount of level 6 on the board without having to rely on the malicious. But if you open up with malicious on them, like, you can go off, and the board that you can make off of malicious and 4 Ignites, the level 6, is crazy. Trust me, someone raged when I actually was attempting to do it for the video, and it like sucked because like I couldn't show it off. But yeah, like it's crazy. Oh wow, let's see now. Let's upstart first, see what we get. That wasn't bad at all. Let's Twin Twister first. We need to hold some of those threats in the back row. Look at that. Strike, 7 tools. This guy's a real handy man. Alright. Let's... If I do that... Alright, let's go... Sculptor by Joker. So we can set our scale. Oh, wow. Ultimate Prominence. Alright, that's fine. He has 2 cards to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With. Let's see how long that lasts. Oh, over there. I would recommend the Solemn Strike, but yeah, I know you would do that. Now watch this. Oh, he had that in hand. All right, that was the better play then. Pop, get another copy of her, 1 counter trap. He can't pendulum summon this turn, so that leaves him wide open. All right. They say choose your. Huh? Take the strike. And that's how I played out. Alright, what do I need now? Alright, first things first. That's normal summon. Yes, I'll activate that. Is he gonna pay? No, sorry. That's a free. Go ahead. No? Alright then. Then we're gonna play Foolish. Let's see. Sulkiest Grave. Gonna use Malicious Effect. Then we're gonna go Sulkiest. And he doesn't strike? Well, we'll punch him in the face repeatedly then. And I'll end my turn because I know you're waiting for me to exceed someone to strike it. Yeah, that's common sense. Oh, triple drop off. Uncarded demise? Oh, wow. That kind of hurt. That's fine. Of course, battle. Dang, that's one of the moments and you wish you gave them another one. I wish I'd gave him warning. If I'd given him warning, I'd have been able to go off. Because I could have reduced his life points lower than... At least put it to 2 grand, and then it wouldn't have been able to go off. Oh well. And the hunt for not taking battle damage continues. And because he plays so many counter traps, there aren't really much battle phase traps, so you can attack freely. Oh, Dark Rebellion. Bye, soldiers. Oh, Armageddon Night. All right, it's now or never. Business before pleasure. Unicorn? Why not? Oh wow, it was Ultimate Provenance. Ain't that much I could do. Only can play the hand I'm dealt. Can only play the hand I'm dealt. And the situation to the field. Like, if it wasn't for so many counter traps, like, I would have been up in the do a long time. But, hey, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And besides, you need to see what's an issue for the deck so you can know exactly what kind of matchup it favors and what it doesn't, so that in the side deck you can critique that to your liking so that you can have a better chance at winning that matchup. Oh wow. Let's do that. Wow. Like I said, because of so many counter trap cards that he's playing in the deck, it's a little difficult to actually hit anything. But once you can, like, out his monsters, like, you can attack freely. Like, he doesn't have anything to really stop attacks, but that's gonna be game. I'll play it one more time and then I'll put it back to the original formula. He built the deck with numerous counter traps. You expect to see that. Like, He didn't even open with the card of demise, and I'm sure he's running at least 2 or more copies of that. So I wouldn't even say luck of the draw. He does have the potential to get his counter trap cards. It's just making sure that he doesn't have any monster bodies on the field so that you can freely attack. Because that kind of deck does not run too many battle phase traps, just counters. Let's upstart. Wow, this is horrible. Let's add our resonator. And then we set one. Wow. And this is the thing I was saying about how it's going to be, you know, even trickier to play. As you can see, even though I have 2 copies of the primitive butterfly, I've never opened with it and I haven't even drawn it. I don't understand it. That's why I prefer the Ignite engine, because they can pop off and you can just get another 6. And besides that, after you pendulum, you can like pop them, get another 6, and then normal summon so you can make your rank 6. But playing it this way is a little more tricky and a bit more difficult, because now you really have to rely on trying to open up with that primitive butterfly or red resonator and Armageddon Knight. And if you don't, yeah, it's gonna suck for you. Alright, now let's see if we can get something going. Alright, excellent. That's way better than I had anticipated. And this is one of the things, especially like this is a deck you can play for fun, but if you're playing competitively, like, whoo, I promise you, it's gonna cause you a world of headache, because a lot of decks that play competitively can OTK, and when they can't, they can hold off the opponent excellently. And you don't want to be waiting 2 and 3 turns just to hit your combos. Like, it's not gonna benefit you nothing but a headache and a bunch of L's. Let's gain some life points back there. Let's get Malicious into the grave. Stardust Charge Warrior. Going to draw. Oh wow, cards are red stone. Let's draw 2 more. Yes. Send him. Reinforcements of the army. Basically what we're doing now is just thinning it out there. We're gonna make another star drawing. Sorry, Stardust Charge Warrior. And this would complete your 4 level 6s to the field to get routed in a single turn. Oh, okay, that's what it's asking me to make. Alright. I still needed one more level 6 so I could go into insect, but we're just gonna battle. But right now the stage has already been set. You are guaranteed to get your winged dragon of Ra. Guaranteed. And that is why we play Beatrice. Once she gets pops and goes off, she brings Dante. So she's an excellent miller as well as an excellent floater to get you an even stronger monster. Oh wow. Yes, make him discard the card out of his hand. Yeah, that for being rude. Too rude, no man is stinking. Alright. We're only waiting on our opponent. But you're guaranteed to see the winged dragon of Ra next turn if he doesn't have anything to disrupt it. Diamond Crab King. No defense is gonna save you, buddy. None. And just in case you guys don't know, these multiple copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra, they suck. Like, they suck. Let's Pendulum Summon first and get out. Oh, okay. We're gonna have to summon Ra this way. We're gonna Foolish and send Primitive Butterfly to the graveyard and then play Soul Charge for this turn. But yeah, like Ra as one card, like he can do more than all three of the Ra's in this game put together. When I actually read up on its effect, like that's crazy. Let's get him. Solkius and Primitive Butterfly. Like the Winged Dragon of Ra's effects as one card is so crazy. Like he can tribute, well actually he doesn't have that effect that Sphere Mode has of tributing 3 monsters on your opponent's side of the field, but when tribute summon, if you don't know the ancient card text, like he just comes to Sphere Mode. So Let's gain some life points there, 2,800. So I only paid 200 to summon 3 monsters. Then, oh, sorry. Let's up his level first. Then we can do this. Get insect. And then like his ability for point-to-point transfer differs than how they have it in this game. In this game is like, oh, you go to 100 life points and you gain that. Like, that's incorrect. You can pay a total amount of life points to your choosing, and that also include, you can also include monsters from your side of the field in that, and you can use that effect during either player's turn. So let's say your opponent would it's your opponent's turn and they want to attack. Doesn't matter what your opponent's trying to do, like you can activate it during either player's turn, and you can pay life points from monsters on your field or your own to increase Ra's attack points. And then when he comes from the graveyard, he comes back immortal, as well as he can instantly attack. It's an effect he has on top of being able to pay life points. I can't battle this turn. On top of being able to do point-to-point transfer to increase his attack to whatever value you want it to be. And when he uses his instant attack, he can attack all monsters your opponent controls, as well as that player directly, which is insane. So it's like a virtual OTK, and it can be applied during your opponent's turn. So let's say you played Call It a Haunted on Winged Dragon of Ra. Like, yeah, your opponent's gonna get it. Let's get our original copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra to the field. Then we're gonna rank up our insect, and that should be game. That is why they had to water the Winged Dragon of Ra down so much. And like, if you notice, the original copy of Winged Dragon of Ra cannot be special summoned. So in the anime where you could have special summoned the Winged Dragon of Ra, like, will you say so what? And then, like I said, you could always attack with your original copy of Winged Dragon of Ra, but just make sure during the, before you end your turn, turn Ra's effect on himself to get Immortal Phoenix, and then get Sphere so that it cannot be targeted by effects or battle. Some alright, give me a sec. I'll run through the deck real quick, and then I'll start another stream just for him in about, if you give me about half hour, because I haven't ate yet. But I just want to run through the deck with the alternate version, because some people don't have the Ignite cards. And then I'll start the stream in about 30 minutes for the Red Dragon, since you want to see some. For the alternate, basically all you did was swap out 2 of your summoner's arts, because you would have used them to add the ignites, and you would have taken out the 10 ignites, so that's 12 cards, and you replace them with 3 Armageddon Knights, Upstart, Reinforcements of the Army, an additional copy of Resonator Call, an additional Red Resonator, and 1 Plague Spreader Zombie. And the reason why you do this is because if you open up with Malicious, with 2 Malicious, you want to put 1 back to the top of your deck, and if you have your mini Pendulum engine, you can start this, Pendulum summon the first copy of Malicious, and just go off like that, so you can get out 2 more Malicious. We have never seen, well, we saw the Primitive Butterfly last duel because I milled it in the graveyard and then you Soul Charge, but other than that I haven't seen it. But the key with Primitive Butterfly is to open with it, put its level to 6, because if you have no monsters you can special summon it. And the real key is to use Red Resonator with Armageddon Knight to mill Malicious. That way you get your level 6 in the form of Starter's Charge Warrior, the +1, and then Malicious goes off, getting you your Beatrice. If you only make 1 Beatrice, then you can mill Immortal Phoenix, and then during your opponent's turn, if they were to activate an effect to remove it from the field, you can then trigger it in response to mill the 1 copy of Winged Dragon of Ra into the graveyard. your following turn, you should be able to Malicious, or if you didn't send a copy of Winged Dragon of Ra, you can send Sulcius, so that if you do have it in your hand and or a Immortal Phoenix in your hand with Ra, you can use Sulcius just to send it there. So you will end up with your Ra and Immortal Phoenix in the graveyard of a Sulcius, and then your one copy of Malicious that you didn't use to bring the other from the deck to make Insect, and immediately you have your Winged Dragon of Ra cycle in effect with Ra, Immortal Phoenix, and Sphere mode. If you don't mill Sulcius, like I said, you can just mill the copy of Ra, and then during your following turn, you can just make the 6, and the combo goes off anyway. But it's trying to open up a Primitive Butterfly, Red Resonator to Armageddon Knight. That is why you have 2 copies of Resonator Call to see it, as well as reinforcements of the army, because you want to see Red Resonator with Armageddon Knight. Another key thing is why you want to incorporate the mini pendulum engine is because you want to, even if you play the Skullcrabat Joker to start the engine off the pendulum summon, you're still going to get your Armageddon Knight's effect to mill, as well as and you guys saw that Red Resonator's effect to gain those life points, and you want to gain those life points to pay for Ra's effect. So once you go off on your mini pendulum engine, you want to special summon your Red Resonator, gain those life points, and you still hit your combo by milling the malicious and going into Stardust Charge Warrior, then Malicious, and then it's just textbook from there. The red eyes are only in there for another draw engine. You want to banish it to draw 2 off Sacred, so you can get into your cards faster. Redstone, so that you can pitch it out of your hand, draw 2, and then you can send another copy so that you thinning out your deck to the graveyard. But you really want to send Flare, the Black Flare Dragon, because you can search out the original copy of Red Eyes using Summoner's Art, but you can't search him out, so you want to mill him off the cards of Redstone. And then an additional copy, let's say it comes off your hand off the draw, you can then banish it off the Law of Darkness, so that you keep a more consistent flow, so that the deck doesn't slow down. Let's remove the additions we added in Plague Spreader, the 3 Armageddon Knights, and put it back to its original formula. Cut that, the Rhoda, the Upstart, the Foolish. Oh yeah, we also added in Foolish so that you could mill. And let's put back in our 2 copies of Summoner's Art to add in. We'll basically just add whichever Ignite you want, depending on which you want to. We have to take out those Primitive Butterflies. And what extra did we add? Why is this off? Soul Charge. Yeah, sorry. And we also added in Soul Charge. You normally don't need Soul Charge because the deck floats nicely because of the Pendulum engine. The reason why we run 3 Twin Twisters and why I'm never taking them out is because you guys have seen multiple duels I ran into heavy back row. You want to have in triple Twin Twisters. You do not want to play any pendulum based deck without running at least 2 or more Twin Twisters, or a card that can restrict your opponent's trap cards, because if they strike your summon, it's going to hurt. And basically with the Ignite engine, like I said, you just pop your Ignite, set your scale. If you can pop twice, it gets you at least 4 Ignites to the field, and you can regularly summon your Winged Dragon of Ra and turn its effect on itself. So once you have already milled Immortal Phoenix, it doesn't matter where Sphere mode is. Immortal Phoenix gets it from anywhere. It's just making sure Immortal Phoenix is in the graveyard for when Ra leaves the field. Then Sphere mode comes once Immortal Phoenix leaves the field. And like I said, you would go into the M7 to put Ra back in your hand, since Sphere mode can only summon it from your hand or deck. And the extra deck doesn't change regardless of which variant you're playing. It's still going to be the same thing. You also have access to Kistel, because you can have multiple level 4s. I didn't put in 101 or Ragnar 0 because I felt that the extra Beetle's effect was more than enough to out any face-up threat on the field. So where 101 would have taken a monster, or Ragnar Zero would have popped a +1, Extra Beetle would just send it to the graveyard, and since it isn't a destruction effect cards like Yang Zings, they won't be able to float. Plus, if it's Ra you send to the graveyard, you automatically get your Immortal Phoenix, and then his effect you can just use to clear all of those monsters off the field, and then just go at your opponent directly. And basically that's it for the deck, and I'll be back in about 30 minutes. Gonna grab something to eat, and then I'll start a stream for some Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend Synchro for you guys. So until half an hour later.